Hello again. How are you guys doing? So my hair keeps growing and my beard and my mustache. Now I look like a beggar from the street. And it's complicated, this coronavirus thing. And it is getting actually very dangerous. Cases are increasing and more people is dying. So please remember to stay home. Don't expose yourself because you're not only going to do this for you, but for all the family and for all the people that live near you, right? So be careful. Don't walk around, don't go out to play, just stay home. Also, I have to add that I am missing you guys a lot. It's been very difficult after all this started and things have gone the other way. Yet it's very different not to be able to talk to you or to go around and walk by your side and have conversations and laugh about things. And it's difficult. So I miss you guys a lot. And remember, pray for the team, baby. Yeah, I loved how you guys, after having the discussion of the human life being so important, you decided to go and save a dog instead of a person. It was awesome. That was a great discussion we had there. So I hope you guys are doing really well today. Here I am again, and I brought this video, hoping you are liking this format. And today I have brought you a question, as usual. Which of these three would you save? Right, as the popular meme going around, I decided to use it in the class. Number one, this beautiful smiling doggy, or that sweet, sweet cat, or our beautiful patron Diomedes. So who would you say? Very good. Answer in the comments. So now we're going to be checking for grammar. And today we're going to check a new topic, which in no way it's a new topic, but the review of an old one. So it is called future tense. However, this time it comes with a different flavor of my plans. So basically, instead of studying its grammar or so, we're going for its function. Usually, these verb forms are used to talk about upcoming stuff. So in aims for that, we're going to build up ideas on how to talk about plans for our future. And I built up this beautiful map, a little pirate map with all the contents of things we're going to do, different issues and stuff. And we're going to go in order to check one. So we have simple future, we have going to, we have a combination of them, and also some other uses for future. We have future clauses and time expressions, and finally a quick review of all the functions we can expect from future. So let's go with the first one. In this first form of future, you need to add will to the sentence. That's all you need. You build up a sentence, you write down a sentence, an idea, and you add will to it. Now, like in this example, for example, right? I eat hot dog plus will. I will eat hot dogs. Now, what is going there? So basically, we're using the same idea, and instead of showing what we do, but because when we say I eat hot dogs, it means that you do that action, right? For some reason. But if you add will, now you are not saying what you do, but you are describing something you plan, which in this case happens to be eating hot dogs. So here it says you eat hot dogs as a fact, and here it says you're planning. You're describing that you have plans to eat hot dogs later. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we are going to use future for, right? So let's go for the next, going to. So now we have going to. This one version is for future, uses the verb to be. So instead of you writing going to, you must add to be before, like in the example. It's very common for you guys to make this mistake for some reason. You believe that as the name of the auxiliary is going to, you just have to add it like this, like I going to eat hot dogs, but that is incorrect. And it's important to add the verb to be correspondingly so you can make sense in the sentence, right? I am going to eat hot dogs, right? That's the way you should do it, right? Very nice. Now, for will and going to, the only difference they have is how sure the action may be. Meaning, we use going to, we are sure about what is to happen. If I say I am going to eat chicken, it means that I have the chicken bought. I have the chicken waiting in my dinner table or something like that. And when I use will, I'm just referencing the plan. Like I plan maybe in the afternoon order some frisbee on or some KFC to eat at home. I'm not saying I do have the chicken. I'm saying I don't have the chicken yet, but I plan to get it, right? So, for example, I will eat hot dog. It means you have the plan to actually eat the hot dog, but you don't have the hot dog with you. But if I say I'm going to eat hot dog, you have already bought or at least ordered it, right? You already call and you're already waiting for the hot dog. So it is something that is going to happen in the future, but have a tendency to be more sure. I use the word again, to be more sure, right? Very nice. So basically, there are other ways of showing future without using will or going to, meaning we can use the present forms with time expressions in future. For example, instead of saying I am going to visit you tomorrow, I can say I am visiting you tomorrow. Instead of saying I will travel to Canada, I can say I travel to Canada tomorrow. However, using these forms requires context, right? That is very important. It requires context. So the idea can be clear. If you have no context on it, or um, the situation lacks of the necessary background information, you can lead to a misunderstanding. So basically, you can try to say something, and then the idea is going to be diluted, and the person maybe cannot understand, right? So here also we go for some time expressions in future, which are very common for you guys. We can use tomorrow, we can use in a month, in a year, in a day, in a couple of hours. We can use next week, next month, next hour, you choose. Or also we can use clauses, which are used using connectors like when, before, after, until, and as soon as, right? So I have the first one. Tom will turn off the lights when he leaves the office. I will tidy the living room, tidy, which means like organize, before I go to bed. I will go running after it stops raining. I will go home until I finish I will not go home until I finish the report. Jane will call her mother as soon as she arrives at the airport. So now something to take into consideration here is that all the clauses you're adding are referencing action in future, although they may not be using will or going to. Right? That is very important. So you just use the sentences in present, and in combination with the principal clause, which will be the one using will, now you will use this clause as a reference for the time of the action. Right? So that's basically all for different cases of future we had. Now let's go for some functions that we may express using future. So we're going to talk about the usage of future. Right? So with future, we can talk about willingness, which is the desire we have to do something. If we want to do something, so I will give you a lift to the cinema. It means that you want to do that. All right. You can talk about arrangements, which are like a scheduled or already planned events. I'm meeting Jim at the airport. So you already planned that, so it is established as part of your schedule. An action in progress in the future. This time next week, I'll be sunbathing. So it is something you expect in your future to take place. Also, obligation. You are to travel directly to London. So that is using another form of expressing future. An action or event that is a matter of routine. You'll be seeing John in the office tomorrow, won't you? So, you see, they are all related to actions that are to take place in future. And in this case particularly, the person is counting on the action to be part of the daily routine of the other. A prediction based on present evidence, I think it is going to rain. So when you analyze the surroundings, sometimes you can try on some predictions on what's going to happen. And there you go. You use going to. An action or event that will take place immediately or very soon. The train is about to leave, which is about to happen, right? Really close to happen in the future. Projecting ourselves into the future and looking back at the complete action. In a month from now, he will have finished all his exams. So that is a projection of your future. Plans and intentions. We are going to spend the summer abroad. Timetable events, as I established before, like things that belong to your schedule. The plane takes off at 3 a.m. And finally, a simple prediction, there will be snow in many areas tomorrow. Right? And that's basically it. So now the idea is to apply what was shared in simple exercise, which will be described in the class after watching the video. But first, be ready to answer these questions. Right? Number one, what is the main difference between will and going to? If I want to show a plan, I have or should I better use will or going to? What does the phrase "I am going to pass the math"? I'm going to pass math after the exam mean? So it's like not what it means in Spanish, but what is the idea being shown when we use going to relating to that particular phrase? Why shouldn't we use present forms for showing ideas in future all the time? So those are going to be questions for the class after we watch the video. And I think this is it. Thank you for watching. And remember, stay home, stay safe. Goodbye.